Good evening and salutations, my GH friends. You know, I really enjoyed this episode. Particularly one part of this episode that I enjoyed. And I think y'all have an idea on what part I'm talking about. The thing is, I know it's going to get a lot worse with this character. That's right. The person who I was actually forced to defend Spencer Cassidy out of all people, Porsha Robinson. She goes to her husband and she practically says, I am fucked. Okay? She tells him what she did and that she didn't listen to him when he was like, just let the legal system work itself out. Now, although I'm still enjoying this part of the next scene, I will say I understand where she's coming from, right? Heather, regardless of the poison or whatever, this chick is a murderer. Okay, she's a killer. She belongs under the jail. If we're gonna be honest. But at some point when she comes in there and Brad walks up to her and she acts like she don't have time for Brad, Brad makes it very clear that you're going to want to talk to me. You're going to want to find the time to talk to me like you don't really have a choice. But I'll give you the illusion that you have a choice. So, they go in the office, and I got to sit there and say that Brad and me personally enjoyed watching this woman squirm, okay? Because after that last episode where she was chastising him over a goddamn hug, oof, okay? And she pretty much, and he pretty much tells her about the dates and how things changed around and the numbers is there and somehow you were there. I mean, it was just kind of weird. Like 1 minute, that the numbers was one way, and then you got here, and the numbers just magically went up. I mean, that worked out. Now, since I am doing such a good job and really trying hard, should I talk to you about this, or should I just go to higher ups and see what they have to say about it? And then you see the energy changes in that woman like night and day. Okay? The tone of voice is completely gone. The resting bitch face is no longer there. And she's all like, well, I really see the change that you're making and stuff like that. And, I just got to sit there and say you're doing an awesome job. Oh, is he? Oh, he's doing an awesome job. Wow, that's great. And so he pretty much, gives her a copy, walks out. She is pissed. I gotta sit there and say, that made my day. I mean, I was already having a good day in general. Okay? This is before I started watching General Hospital. But watching that part, that's pretty much the icing on the cake. Now, I have a feeling that it's not going to stop with just that. Because he did sit there and say, and I quote, I got copies. So, moving forward, should be pretty interesting. I'll sit there and say. Now, Sonny walks in and he's about to sit there and confess. Dante stops and is like, hey, wait up, I got something to tell you. Anna already at this point knows what Dante's about to do. And she's like, no, this can wait. We got to sit there and we got to get in and now. But before Dante has a opportunity to maybe cross the line, most likely cross the line. Let's just be honest. Martin Gray and that DA comes in for the feds. And Martin's pretty much like, all right, so come here and sit there and call me about this new evidence about, Alexis and the gun and everything like that. How come you didn't sit there and call me about that? And Anna tries to rush the conversation, like, no, listen, we gotta do this first. And Mark's like, no, you're gonna hold up for a hot minute, okay? I want to know what's going on, and I want to pretty much kind of get my client released. Sonny overhears that Diane is not that far behind, and DA is like, no, this doesn't change anything. I was like, okay, cool. So I'm gonna go to the judge, and we're gonna get the trial started, so I can get my client released. Um, they all go to the court. Molly and Dex are talking, and I guess Dex was testifying for something or whatever. And he lets it slip that, oh, did you hear the good news about your mom and the new evidence? But he doesn't sit there and say what it is, and she doesn't press. So at some point, the court case starts, and Martin pretty much is like, yo, listen, they got the gun. It was tested. It was confirmed. By the way, Rick is a piece of shit. Okay? Rick sat there and looked at that gun when Liz was there, and, Chase was there, and Chase was like, hey, listen, is this the gun? And Liz was like, yeah. And, Rick was like, I don't know. I mean, I don't really remember. I mean, it was dark and everything. Liz was sitting there looking at him like, oh, you got to be kidding me, right? And then, Liz kind of nudges him like, listen, you talked about civil duty and stuff like that. And so he's like, yeah. I'm like, you really are an asshole, aren't you? I don't, listen, there was a point in time that I did take a break from watching General Hospital. And so I don't know all the details. But my whole thing is like, was you really about to sit there and lie to make sure that Alexis didn't go free? God damn, you're a piece of shit. Like, seriously. Um, but they both confirmed it. Liz is disappointed with him. So let's sit there and see how that, whatever reunion that was going to happen, or maybe it's going to happen, I'm pretty sure that shit ain't going to happen now. Court, court case gets started. Martin presents his findings and everything. And then the DA is like, no, we got more than enough. We got motive, we got opportunity, and this gun just miraculously showing up doesn't sit there and change anything. So the judge is like, listen, let me go and just kind of think about this whole thing or whatever. Alexis is worried. Martin's a little kind of worried. Sonny's like, yo, listen, if this does not go in her favor, I'm going to have to tell the truth. Comes back. He's like, Alexis, you can go. Everyone's happy. Molly is still sitting there giving this, you know, nasty vibe to Christina. And after she walks out, Michael's like, yo, what's going on? And she's all like, oh, this is still her fault and everything like that. I was like, okay, all right, you know what? This is a good day. I'll sit there and focus on y'all two BS's tomorrow. Um, I said Sam was there. Now, at some point, um, Anna questions Dante and pretty much like, yo, so, you was gonna give your father a heads up, right? And he was like, yeah, I thought about it or whatever. And I'm glad that Anna didn't really come down too hard on him because I was like, I always thought there was like, you want to sit there and revisit the whole Valentine thing? When you gave him a heads up when he was about to get arrested for a crime that he committed. Oh, okay, cool. I wanted to make sure you weren't going to go there. And at that point, you talk about Lulu and, it's another reason why he was going to do it. Because he was like, I may have to sit there and tell my son bad news about Lulu, and I don't have to sit there and do that on top of Sonny going to jail for years and years and years. At some point, because I feel like I'm going to forget because so much stuff happened, um, Liz gets an alert when Terry's there, and apparently they found a match. Now, Liz came back from dealing with Rick and his BS and vented to her about Rick and his BS for a little bit, but also talked about Lucky. Sitting there saying that now Lucky is not a match, most likely he's going to sit there and dip town and just kind of leave his son high and dry. And as we saw, that's literally what he was about to do. After he threw a temper tantrum, started wrecking a bunch of shit in his family's restaurant that clearly he's not going to pay for. Yeah, he was going to sit there and be a disappointment to his son again. Um, so yeah, that's pretty nice right there. Damn, Liz sure know how to pick him, don't they? But to be fair, I'm not even going to sit there and really give this on Liz for me. Jason, you knew you were getting into with Jason. Rick, oh yeah, never mind. You don't have children together. Lucky always seemed like he was pretty decent until he had that whole addiction thing. It always seemed like he was pretty decent from what when I was watching the show. I don't know what kind of crap he got caught up into later on, but like when I started watching the show in 2000s, he seemed like he was pretty decent. So, but Rick just as a person, yeah, he's definitely at his shady moments. I don't know. Maybe she is kind of shitty at picking men. Now Curtis does, after talking to Porsha, try to calm her down, which was like, well, that's funny and cute. Part of me wants to be like, I know in the back of his head, he really wants to sit there and say, "I told you ass so." Now you done made things worse. Um, Calls Rick up and pretty much asks him like, what's the worst case scenario, you know? And he's like, there's these three outcome possibilities or whatever. And he did sit there and talk about GH and their testing, which was questionable or whatever. But he was like, either she's going to sit there and get a reduced sentence, um, or I think it was like three, but I know one was either reduced sentence or she may get immediate bail. Which, let's be honest, we all know that she's going to get immediate bail. But he does sit there and say, hey, listen, her levels are fine and not like it was before. So, you don't have to worry about her going around murdering people, except for the times I heard that she was murdering people before the hip replacement. But I mean, besides that time, she seems like she's fine. So guess cross your fingers, maybe. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. The majority of the episode. If I missed anything, write it in the comments section below. Or better yet, come to the live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We'll talk about all the shows, General Hospital, Days of Our Lives, Born the Beautiful, Young and Restless, and yes, I'm still smiling at Porsha getting that smug smile wiped off of her face. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. I will sit there and see you in the next video, and hopefully the live stream tonight.